right, hello everyone. I'm kind of on two platforms right now, Instagram and Facebook, so I'm kind of going to be looking up and down. Today, I just wanted to kind of give an update of kind of what's been going on, where I've been, and today I want to talk about office spaces, office leases, and ultimately the main question is, where is your business? And if you're looking for a place, where are you going to put your business and what do you need to know? So recently I just traveled to Washington State. It was so much fun. I mean, I was just tempted to stay there. I went to Portland, Oregon. I went to Vancouver, Battleground. I was there for a conference, amazing time of fellowship, some great education, and just some great spiritual food by the pastor Matt Jones. And I also got to travel all the way to Seattle, Washington, not only just to see the most beautiful city, the biggest, most hilly, just culture city I've ever seen, and also to visit one of my clients that actually wants to move here to Charlotte. So it was just amazing. I mean, the amount of real estate there is just definitely very different. And I would just definitely recommend, to all my real estate agent friends, get yourself out there and just kind of see what the markets are like in different areas. So back to today's topic. The main question is, where is your business? Comment down below. Are you in an office? Are you in a standalone building? Are you in a plaza? Are you downtown in those high rises? Where are you? Where is your business? And just kind of want to see if anyone has any questions. I've just had a couple offices sold, and I have one right now that is under contract. It's right near the Crown Point area, right off of Monroe Road. It's a building where the whole building has multiple owners. And then I have another huge 20,000 square foot building also going up for lease and for sale as well. And that's just one owner. So just kind of wanted to talk about the things that are involved when you're looking for an office space. So depending on the kind of business you have, I have different clients. I have clients that are looking for an auto body shop. I have clients that are looking for a medical building, auto body dealerships, and some that just want to have a small practice. And so just depending on what your business is or what your industry is, that is going to tell you if location is important or not. Because with residential, like you guys always hear, location, location, location. And with business, sometimes location is super important and other times it's not. And just like residential and commercial, you're going to pay for location. So that's kind of the biggest things when you're looking for an office space, is to keep in mind, okay, do I need to be a storefront? Do I have to have my business at the front? Is that your main way of attracting customers? For example, for a dental place, it's a good idea to be in a plaza in a marketable area. For a food store, grocery store, you want to be, you don't want to be in the back of the neck of the woods and behind some kind of subdivision. You want to be somewhere accessible. And maybe for an auto dealership, you want to be off a main road. Very popular area is Independence Boulevard. There's so many dealerships there, so many competitors, and restaurants as well. Is if you want to attract business by catching someone's eye, you don't want to be just out there in the boonies somewhere. You want to have a very attractive place. So that's one of the most important things when you're looking for an office space, is to consider that. Or maybe you're a real estate agent, maybe you're a lawyer, and you don't really care about location, so you don't even need a whole building. Sometimes, believe it or not, there's this thing called subleasing. So obviously, let's say John owns this entire 10,000 square foot building, but he doesn't need all 20 offices. So what he could do is he could sublease some of those offices for a much lesser rate than you could just, having the whole office to yourself. So that's definitely a great option that you'll have. When it comes to offices, they still have POAs, just slipped my mind, but let's say HOAs for businesses, Private Owners Association. There you go. So that's something you want to look at, because if you're in a big building, For example, like I have one right now where we just got the office suite under contract. They still have some monthly dues. It could be $100 a month per suite. It could be $1,000 a month. Basically just maintaining, like in a residential neighborhood, you have the HOA that maintains the sidewalks and the lights and the parks and the pools. Whereas in an office, you have a POA where they could either store away money to potentially put that money towards renovations to make the building nicer, or you can take that money and you can, they'll just pay for the bathrooms. Sometimes not all offices have bathrooms and they might just have some public bathrooms. So it's there to maintain it. So we talked about location, visibility, and also, of course, the POAs. Most people don't take that into account. So that is mostly in regards to leasing an office. That is very important to consider, is those things. And another question that's very important to ask is utilities, because in a huge office, let's say there's two of them side by side, one owner might say, you know what, I'll pay all the utilities, I'll pay the POA, all I want is just the rent of a solid, let's say $1,500 a month. Boom, done, easy. And basically in that $1,500, he's going to include all of the, all the expenses. And for others, they might say, you know what, let's do $1,500 a month. And on top of that, I want you to pay your own utilities on your own. And sometimes offices have their own air conditioning and cooling systems, so you don't even have to worry about that. Also, just, think about what industry you're in, because for example, an office, a building that has 20 different units could have 20 different uses, but you have to be mindful. You can't have like a plumbing or tiling store in an office while right next door you have a dentistry or you have a chiropractor clinic. So it's really important that you know your business and that you know what kind of industry it is, so that it doesn't get in the way of the ones around you. And also keep in mind, competitors, who else in that building is a chiropractor? Who else in that building are you competing against? You don't want two dental offices side by side. So that's another very important thing you want to think about. And ultimately, it is very important that you reach out to a real estate broker. Now, again, there's a difference between a residential real estate agent and a commercial real estate broker. It's two completely different worlds. To the new real estate agents out there, yes, your real estate license is sufficient enough for residential and commercial real estate, but two very different things. Just like when I did land, land and houses, two separate categories. So make sure that if you're looking for an office, if you're looking for a commercial building, commercial real estate, you need to find your commercial real estate broker. It's very important. I mean, there are so many laws, you wouldn't even believe it, that go all the way into this. And another thing that's very, very important, especially, this applies to leasing, but mostly selling. If you want to buy a building for your business, there's this thing that you're going to have to do called a business plan. Now, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to open a Christina Kalyakin restaurant and I want to be in this building. Here's my deposit, here's the terms, done. No, most of the time, especially nowadays, people wanting to make sure they have the right tenants, people wanting to make sure that, you're in there, not just for, 6 months, 12 months, they want to make sure you're in there for a long time. They might ask you to prepare a business plan, which, yes, is exactly what it sounds like. And it's it could be 20 pages, it could be 100 pages. Basically, you have to write out, who you're going to hire, who is your business, how much money are you going to make, what are the duties of all the employees that you have hired. And another very important thing you want to think about is parking. Not a lot of people think about that. I have a property for sale right now right off of Independence Boulevard. It's 0.24 acres, and you can't really put an auto dealership there because there's only 10 parking spots. You could possibly put a small restaurant there, which still, what are you going to do when it's a busy day? Possibly it's better for, like, say, a veterinarian clinic that has maybe 3 or 4 people that park in that area. So that's why parking is also very important to consider when you are trying to look for an office space or a building of some sort. And also make sure to ask your real estate broker about the zoning. And also on top of that, make sure you go to the history of the zoning. Because let's say I've had a situation like this where you have a lot for sale, and you're like, great, I'm going to take this lot and I'm going to build myself Christina's restaurant. Great idea. But you need to do your research, because if there was a gas station before on that lot, there are chances that they might not let you put a restaurant there until all of it's cleaned up. Because what happens at the gas station? With the gas station, you have fuel tanks. With the gas station, you have underground tanks that hold oil and gas. And you want to put a restaurant on top? No, they're not going to let you get away with it that easy. So just like in residential real estate, how you have a due diligence period, how you have an examination period, in commercial real estate, there are a couple of phases that you have to go through. And the more complex you get, an office building is still okay. Something that's already standing there, you have a little bit more chances there. But when it comes to commercial land, there's a lot more things you're going to have to do to find out. So the process is pretty easy. Again, I highly advise that you at least consult and speak to a commercial real estate broker if you're looking for commercial real estate. And then from then, you do your research, you find the property that you like. With commercial real estate, considered a positive or a negative, but most of the time the commercial brokers, the listing agents, and the buyers, they're all going to be there. So they're all there to answer all of your questions. And commercial loans, that's also a whole nother thing. It's not like just walking into a bank and saying, you know what, I need to borrow $200,000 to buy this house. A little bit more lengthy. Same process, pretty similar, but there's a lot more things you have to go through, especially when we're talking about business income. So I hope that I was able just to put a couple questions in your mind when you are looking to possibly buy or sell commercial real estate. And if you have any questions, please know that I'm Christina Kalyakin, and I am your Charlotte, North Carolina commercial real estate broker expert. And I'm also working very hard to get more and more educated so that I can answer all of your questions. And again, just like I started, where is your business? I'm curious to hear what's important to you for a business. Is storefront important to you? Are you okay with just being out in the woods and in the middle of neighborhoods? And so I really would like to get your feedback to see that what I can do, what I can research so that I can become a better resource for you. So please comment below. And if you are looking for an office, if you are looking for a commercial building, perhaps you have friends that are out of the state, which is one of the biggest perks of working in commercial real estate is, it's not just local, but you get to work internationally. Please feel free to have them call me. And again, do not be shy of commercial brokers or residential brokers. Be sure to talk to them, because they could have resources for you so that, who knows, maybe they have something in their pocket, because I just had a listing now where it didn't even hit the market. It was just two people coming together. So again, this is Christina Kalyakin, your commercial real estate broker expert. If you have any questions, I hope all of you have a great day. Thank you, everyone.